Good evening and welcome. It is an honor to have you here at the Phoenix Bioscience Core. I'm Scarlett Spring. I'm the Executive Director of the PBC, and I joined this office January of this year. I'm a 20-year pharmaceutical industry veteran that also spent some time in economic development before I myself was bitten by the startup bug. And I spent about 8 years in an early lung cancer diagnostic company, and today I actually am the founder of my own company, Taproot Interventions and Solutions, an AI-enabled dementia expert for caregivers in senior living and for aging at home. But what's really important, though, is about the PBC. This office was established to support the collaboration and to guide the PBC in a unified approach for those institutions and for the organizations that are here. Those initial efforts were led by Phoenix champion Dave Kreider, who not only played a key role in establishing the PBC early on, but also laid the foundation for this office. We are so happy today, this evening, to have Dave and his wife, Kate, with us tonight. Round of applause, Dave. Thank you so much. I also want to thank GPEC and Chris Camacho, our partners tonight, for this evening, and the Health Innovation Council for their tireless work in this area to continue to move the life sciences forward. I also want to thank my office, both Joe Martin and Monica Simmental, for all the work that they've done. There's only 3 of us in the office, and the fact that all the work that we do and the producing this evening, I can't thank you enough, as well as with Sarah Anderson, who kind of envisioned this space and helped us to bring it to life, and Kyle Jardine of the Wexford team, who let us use this space this evening. So it is beautiful. We have a few aspirations this evening, and the first of them was to enable you to experience the PBC. So we want to thank our Center of Innovation and CEI colleagues that are here. Tom Schulman, the Executive Director of CEI, and Patty Du Bois, the Assistant Executive Director, for opening up and allowing you to experience Venture Cafe. Venture Cafe happens every Thursday night in this very space, where about 150 to 200 individuals gather weekly. These are innovators, these are the young, bright minds, the next generations, and it's sprinkled in with a few of us that are a bit more tenured and have a little more gray hair. And it's really amazing to watch the collisions, the innovation, the wisdom that is exchanged on those Thursday evenings. So if you've not had a chance to witness Venture Cafe on a Thursday, it's free. Please make time and pop in. I think you'll find it really, really special. It has become a staple in the startup community. Secondly, we mentioned TGen. I really want to thank our TGen partners, and if you did not have a chance to see the Mind Crowd 2.0 and have a chance to sign up for that, I encourage you to look on the website. This is really important research that's going on where the researchers at TGen are examining the adult aging spectrum. They're really looking at what are those personalized life factors that make a difference of being able to benefit our cognitive health so that it will catch up with our longevity. You know, we're being able to live longer, but we're still experiencing so much Alzheimer's, dementia, and cognitive decline. And so that's a really important study. Our second intention for this evening was provide you a glimpse of what the PBC in the future is going to look like. There's 1.7 million square feet of lab, office, and academic space that's on the PBC today. But if you had a chance to go into the Edison A&I space, the Smith Group enabled us to be able to get a glimpse of what's coming. And you did see a new picture of the CAMI and some renderings, and we're going to look forward to Dr. Dake sharing a bit more of that later this evening. So thank you, Smith Group, for working with us there. The PBC was established some 20 years ago, and really it was many people in this room who worked hard to recruit Jeffrey Trent to bring the TGen here, and it was that group many in this room, legislators, and leaders that actually breathe life into the vision that we could create a life cluster, a life science cluster here in downtown Phoenix. Then the Biosciences Roadmap was developed with the help of our Flynn colleagues and partners. Thank you so much for the 2 decades of work that you have put into that roadmap, and everyone and all the tireless hours and volunteers who've put work into having that become a reality. And it's interesting to see that we are making progress. Phoenix is a top emerging talent for job growth, and we continue to see signs of our ecosystem maturing. But as our video said, it really is just the beginning, and there's more work for us to do. In the center of that ecosystem is the PBC. As mentioned, we're the only place in the state where we have all 3 of Arizona's public universities, and educating the next generation of talent, but also working on translational science. Now, translational science is important because that's the science that can get out and make a difference into the world. And it's that benefits our human health, and it also helps to solve the diseases that are most important here in our state. On the PBC, doesn't matter what happens on courts on a Friday or a Saturday and fields and competitive landscapes. Here, the only competition is the diseases that we fight. And we have our universities, cross universities, working hand in hand and in partnership to face those challenges. So yes, we teach, yes, we educate, and we engage in translational research, making it very fertile for discovery, for commercialization, and for entrepreneurship. So we're happy to have Exact Sciences, and City of Phoenix announced earlier about them doubling down and making a reinvestment in this market. We're also excited to see TGen continue their development with Exact Sciences, looking at a blood test for a pan-cancer test, which is looking at blood. And then just recently, we announced NIH in the NIDDK, that's the diabetes and digestive and kidney diseases, they have now made the PBC their home. Now, I don't know if you know, but they have been in this market since 1965. And the fact that we now have the NIH coalescing that research that's going to be happening here is very exciting. And some of the metabolic work that they're going to be doing. There's places across the country who do have these metabolic chambers, but we are going to have 2 of them in this building, and they're going to enable us to look at all of the energy inputs and outputs of what's happening within your body. So the research, the collaboration, the opportunity for future grants based upon that, we have only just begun to imagine. My third objective for this evening is that you would see that the PBC is actually more than just these 30 acres, and it is. It is a place of where collision has happened, collaboration is happening, but as the video was saying, it really is about the collaboration among our partners. It's the connective tissue with Dignity, with Barrow, with the VA, with the Mayo, with Honor Health, Phoenix Children's, Valleywise. There isn't anyone that's located here on the PBC that either doesn't have an affiliation or that is striving for an affiliation with one of those clinical partners. And that indeed is one of the strengths of us being here. So what are we doing about it? Well, we've put forth a plan in 5 pillars, and these 5 pillars guide our direction. First, it's to look to be, where can we be world class? And I want to thank the Flynn Foundation for sponsoring some work. It's called the PBC Asset Study. And this is where we're working with Teconomy and Wexford and interviewing to see where are our core competencies? Where is it that we have some anchor opportunities? Is it cardiovascular? Is it cancer? Is it going to be neuroscience and brain health? What are those 1 or 2 areas that where we can begin to see where we've got these fertile areas? That report is planned to deliver at the end of February. Our second area of focus is workforce, and I know that doesn't surprise you when you look at the work that the Arizona Board of Regents has done around doubling our talent. Well, we too want to improve that physician to population ratio. And when you look at the 15,000 students that in and around the PBC that are here on this campus, including ASU Prep and Phoenix Union, there is a lot of opportunity to continue to develop this young talent. So to augment these efforts, I'm thrilled to announce a new partnership, and this is that our office has established with Mercy Care, and it's called Mercy Cares. It's their community reimbursement. I want to thank Tad Gary. Tad is here with us this evening. They are supporting us a role for 2 years to be able to have a person working out of our office that will support our talent that is being developed here, getting more interns, getting more placement, because yes, we're educating them, but we've got to get them to work. And so we thank you for that, you trusting us in our office to make that happen. Economic development is our next one. We stand shoulder to shoulder with the City of Phoenix, with ACA, with GPEC, and with our Discovery Oasis colleagues, showcasing and recruiting to companies that can be catalytic to our ecosystem. But we're also outreaching to Tucson, to Flagstaff, and to Tempe of how do we get to those universities and say, come scale here at the PBC. So we will be launching this year something called Scale Studios. And this is to support life science companies that have raised some money, but that still need some support. In the areas that we're looking at is someone who's raised a seed round, but you're not quite ready for B. So it's kind of seed plus to A plus, because there's a lot of milestones that have to happen. And these are companies that have gone through the Flynn Biopreneur programs. They've gone through the AIC Challenge, Venture Ready. They've gone through the ASU Mayo MedTech Accelerator, but they still need support. And so we're looking at bringing in some 10 companies this year. Now, I still have a little bit more fundraising to do to get that one totally off the ground, but I will do it because we have to do it. These are the companies that we have already made investments in, and yet these are the companies that are most vulnerable, that just a few $1 million in funding can pull them out of this market. So I'll be working with all of you, and hopefully we can talk some more about that in the future. Next thing is master planning. As you can see, just by evidence that was in the E&I space, we have so much growth that is coming, and the City of Phoenix over the years and over the past decade has led these efforts to ensure that we are where we are today in planning all of the assets that are here. Well, I'm excited because now there's a new effort that's going on led by the City of Phoenix where we have all 3 of our universities at the table talking about their programming, what they need over the next 5 to 7 years, what sort of students that we think that will be here. For the first time, we could be looking in the next 2 years at having undergraduates on the PBC. To date, this has been a graduate campus. So what is it that we need to do to ensure that we've got the right experience, the right assets for our students that are coming through? And then lastly is culture. We take culture very important because the PBC is being built in one of the most dynamic cities and in the heart of downtown and in the middle of very engaged neighborhoods. So we're so fortunate to be a part of this downtown community, the arts, amazing restaurants, and it's critically important that we continue to develop this as a place that we invite those communities in to where we have creatives and business owners, both race, ethnicity, education, to feel welcomed here. So as a part of this, our office has really been dedicated to how do we find those ways of making sure that as we build these beautiful steel, glass buildings, that we're not building them and keeping people out, but we're building them in a way that invites the community in. One such example of a successful effort is called our Artisan Research Program. And this is led by our University of Arizona, Dr. Cynthia Stanley. And this program pairs a local artist with a researcher. And for 9 months, that artist interprets the life's work of that research. And after 9 months, then we showcase that art. It's been showcased at Bentley Gallery. You might have seen some of that work at Sky Song. At the airport, at the Sky Harbor Airport. We are currently in our 3rd cohort, and it has been so amazingly successful. And we have our researchers talk about how that it really does help them re-envision their work. We believe downstream that's helping with burnout, and we believe that it's helping each other to see how we get out of the labs and how we're interpreting that research to the external community. Another important area that we've partnered is with our Community Food Connections, who operate the downtown farmers market. There are over 100 local vendors that every weekend are here on the farmers market, and 3,000 visitors that come every weekend. So we are thrilled to play host. We're thrilled to think about how we continue to build the PBC with that sort of energy and effort. And we encourage our students and our professors to think about how do we touch those 3,000 people that are coming in to buy their food, to buy their vegetables, and to buy their goods, because that sort of interaction is just invaluable. And then, of course, we've already mentioned Venture Cafe. That is just an internationally recognized program that our colleagues here have just knocked out of the park. So in closing, I want to share that the PBC is not one single endeavor from one group or from one office. It's really a culmination of 20 years of hard work, of careful planning across the city of Phoenix, Arizona Board of Regents, our university partners, our presidents, leaders of our clinical assets in town, the Flynn Foundation, Arizona Bio Association. It's just been really amazing. I also want to thank Joan Kerber Walker, because as a part of one of our efforts, we are going to be opening an AZ Bio office here on the PBC in the first quarter of 2024. So we're thrilled that now that is also going to be a piece of the puzzle that we're going to have. So thank you, Joan, for making that happen. This place of the PBC is a place of amazing talent. It's a place of connection. It's a place of collaboration. And now is the time for us to really think about how do we lean in and continue not only the effort that we have, but maybe lean it in further. We have done so well as a state around the semiconductor, and I believe that now is the time for that to happen in the life sciences space. My hope is that tonight you'll be re-energized, and that you're going to leave tonight asking yourselves, and maybe even asking us, how can I be a part of this? So thank you so much for coming. There isn't any more people and any greater lineup than what you're going to see tonight that we'll be putting in front of you that are more committed to making this, to making our state great, and for being here this evening talking about the efforts that are going on at the PBC and radiating out from that. Because if there's one thing that I do want you to get is, yes, the PBC is a place, these special 30 acres, but the PBC is also this concept that reaches out into our clinical partners and for collaboration.